Let's not forget that before the tariff threat, we had a couple of big problems before Trump came along, before the tariffs came along. Number one being our terrible productivity record, very weak business investment, 41 cents per dollar machinery equipment per worker, what the United States has. We got all kinds of obstacles in our domestic market. The federal and provincial governments have struck down a few domestic trade barriers, but there are many, many of them left. We got a tax system that coddles small businesses, gives them incentives to small, and the two have to come together. We can't take on the rest of the world, start trading around the rest of the world, displace imports in Canada unless we fix our own productivity. One of the categories the Prime Minister's office has flagged in this new economic model is creating excellence. Well, guess what? A large part of that comes from our universities and colleges. Almost every university in Canada is in financial stress, heading for huge deficits. They're cutting back. We've had a reduction in the number of students. We're not in a good place to take on this challenge, but we have no choice. We have to go forward. It's a lot more complicated than people are thinking. The steel industry in Canada is the perfect example because it has been shaped to fill the supply chain in the United States. We do not even make a basic steel product like a structural beam in Canada. Our automobile industry is another good example. Canadians buy a couple of hundred models of car, depending on what year you're talking about, 10 or 12 car models are made in Canada. We are again making them to export, and that was a good model in the previous trade environment. It's not an easy model to shift away from exporting to the United States to exporting somewhere else. It's not even an easy model to shift away from exporting to the United States to selling in the Canadian market. If we're going to say to Canadians, well, you're only going to buy 10 cars, I don't think they're going to like that. So they're still going to have to import a lot of cars. The rest of the world's not going to say we're going to buy something because we want to be nice to Canada. They're going to buy something if we offer something high quality at a low price. And in order to do that, we have to have a high level of productivity. We have not had a high level of productivity in Canada for a very long time, and we've been slipping vis-a-vis almost all the other countries. And this comes back to it. We need a new economic model, but we got so much old baggage that we finally have to deal with at the same time. We have to look at the whole structure. We have almost a zero tax rate for small corporations and a high tax rate for large corporations. We give a 15% research tax credit for big corporations. We give a 35% credit for small corporations, but they don't research as much. We have to change all of that. We have to make everything much more growth oriented, and we should have done it 30 years ago. But it's the old proverb about the tree. Unfortunately, we didn't plant that tree 30 years ago, so we better do it now. But it's going to be more difficult and it's going to take a longer period to see the results.